it's a little bit easier to just like make it seem more professional. But and everybody was like, well, what you gonna do the podcast on? What you gonna do podcast on? I was talking to a bunch of people, bruh, saying like, hey, I'm like serious about these podcasts. I want to get it started soon. And I was thinking, I was like, bro, they could tell their story. Like, imagine I interview Mocha. She could tell us about the Shy, bro. Like anything. You never know, bro. I feel like it's an open opportunity. It's just a lot of niggas that overthink it and be like, I don't have nothing to talk about. My life was boring. This, that, and the third. Like, bro, that the conversation will start off one way, and then we end up talking about them and their life. You know how many people I talk to on a daily basis? I said, you know what I should start doing? I should start giving like regular nigga interviews, bro. Timing. That's our biggest issue with him. And I know, Trey, you'll be down for it. You could come to my podcast and somebody will give a fuck. And then if you don't think that somebody will give a fuck, want to talk about themselves, want to tell their story, bro, and don't nobody give a fuck, and it's a lot of people around you that don't give a fuck, then it's a podcast, which means it's content, which means there's a link. I ain't at the status where I'm gonna be interviewing no rappers, no entertainers, no content creators, nobody of a certain stature. But it's a lot of people that want to speak their mind, want to vent. That's something a lot of regular niggas can't say. Say, for example, you told your life story, or you told a funny story, or you said some shit that went down, or you explained some shit, or whatever the case may be. Or you don't think my people would give a fuck. But I ain't gonna never ask nobody, hey, you want to be on a podcast, you gotta cut that camera on. Like, I already know. And you want a certain person to see it or whatever. It's not up to me. It's up to you. So I said, I can't vouch for us. I don't know if, I feel like it's simple. It's easy. I just got to get niggas on board. And it was to spread the word of mouth. You got your own interview. And instead of posting it on your social media where you be like, it makes it a little difficult because I know anybody, for some strange reason, regardless how many videos they've been in, how many pictures they took, how many social medias they got, you got your own interview where you got to actually speak your mind, how much they show on their social media. Just because we this, just because we that. So they don't want to. I at least got a couple of yeses. People think just because we in Virginia, just because we in America, just because we black, I'm actually putting it to use. Yeah, on some midnight gospel type shit, and it ain't gonna be like every single episode has to be an interview about a specific person. If we got topics or if we want to talk about something, then we can do that. But if it's a person that I want to have on my podcast and they don't know what to say, they don't know what to do, I give them an interview, bro. It's a lot of you. All right, here go my life story, and everybody just ignoring that shit, and you just being like, well, damn, don't nobody give a fuck. But if I make it, so they gotta give a fuck. We don't got no unique story, bro. Everybody out here been through some shit. Everybody out here went through some shit. Every time somebody tell their story, don't this shit be entertaining sometimes? The nigga be telling you about what he went through with his mama. The nigga be telling you about what he went through growing up. A nigga be telling you about some shit that happened to him when he was working at this job, when he had this car, when he was talking to this person. Like, sometimes niggas be wanting to tell that story, and some people don't have, I ain't even gonna say the attention span or the time. I ain't even gonna say that because it don't even really be that deep. People just really don't give a fuck. I had somebody on the podcast for the first time. All right, bro, introduce yourself. What's your name? So-and-so. All right, where you grew up, blah, blah, blah. A lot of niggas I know didn't even grow up out here. Then, hey, that's on you, but then regardless of how you feel, people will feel about it. Each episode will pretty much be about the person that I'm talking to. So even if you think you might not be interested, you gotta be interested. It's about you. Oh, bro, I'm sick of telling that story. Tell it one time on the podcast. You ain't never got to tell the story again. You can just send a link. Be like, bro, I ain't about to keep telling you about this beat up ass car I had, bro. Here go the link. My podcast, bro. Skip the 1/18/24. That's when I told the story about the whip, you know? Oh, now you got stories. It's like when you tell a nigga you gonna interview him and be like, bro, I ain't got nothing to talk about. Nobody give a fuck about this, that, the third. All you did was show up and answer questions. Simple. Shut up. Because if we was just sitting around talking about Beyblades, I bet you'd be like, bro, I remember when I was in 3rd grade and Beyblades first came. I bet you had a story now. Tech decks. Oh, you got a story about tech decks. Oh, my mama beat me with the coat hanger when I was growing up. Oh, me too, bro. You don't even. This one time as soon as you bring up a subject, everybody trying to chime in. Instead of chiming in, come on. You could say everything you got to say in one interview and you ain't never got to say it again. If a nigga be like, you can lie if you want. But then again, that's one of them things where like if somebody else see your podcast and they be like, this nigga lying about all this shit being recorded. and it'd be like, damn, you talking to all these unknown niggas. I think it'd be a good idea, bro, because I be wanting, nobody has time to sit around and tell their story. Nobody has time to sit around and tell you about themselves. It would have to be over the thing. And if I were to do like a podcast where, you know, it's over Discord and, you know, then you got niggas that's from different places that I don't know the shit about. You know, I'll be asking questions. Oh, how's California? How's New Orleans? How's Nevada? How's Texas? How's this place? I feel like it opens opportunities for anybody that want to speak, bro. I feel like when it comes to podcasts, when it's just audio, I do got a couple stories. Then tell them. Oh, I did know this one. All right, then say it. Like, you know, you ain't got to. I ain't begging you to, but I feel like it's an open opportunity. And I'm not discriminative on who I want to have on my podcast or anything. If it's somebody that's just a yap star and I already don't like them, then I ain't nobody. Me personally, I'm doing everybody a favor. I don't want to hear that. But if I be like, hey, join my Discord this Sunday, we're going to talk, I have a little podcast or whatever. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want. This isn't, you know, on my streams, I got the mic. When I'm editing, I got the mic. Everything is centered around me, unfortunately, just because I'm the editor, I'm the recorder, I do all the shit behind the scenes. But if it's a podcast, it's geared and aimed towards whoever it is that's going to be on my podcast. Everything else is inner workings behind me. I'm doing all the work anyway. So what I need to be the star of the show for, it wouldn't even make sense. I'm the only nigga that got my camera on. It'll be weird. It's just all about, like, are you willing to? And then, you know, I don't want to put my business. Every time, you know, it's always a nigga to overthink it. I don't want to put my business out there. Don't. I feel like the only thing I can really talk about is this. Then do it. When I have my camera on, as far as like the inner circle, the clubhouse, everybody that we got already, that we know already, everybody is camera shy. Because we ain't finna just sit around and kick shit. We can, but like that's for me and my niggas. We can sit around and kick shit. If I'm having you on a podcast for like 1 episode or 2 episodes, it's about you. And if you don't know what to talk about, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to be a mediator. And they was fucking with it. So whoever would be on that episode would be the star. And if they one of them nonchalant, oh, I don't want to be the star, I just want to sit on the sideline and see how it is, all right, find me a guest. So I know Randy would want to do some shit like that. Randy pretty much open to all types of shit. It's just, I'm going to say a good handful of niggas that I told about it. My whole thing is like, it ain't going to be in-person interviews. Niggas is not really bold like that. Or niggas just don't feel like, niggas feel like they got to get ready to be on camera. I wouldn't have a problem with it, but it would be weird to do that. Some niggas really be like, be on camera for what, bro? But like, it's just always going to be difficult. So I always say, bro, we just gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna just put my camera on and everybody else can keep their shit off and talk. And then eventually, if people wanna know why it is that's that way, then you gotta ask them folks, not me.